What's good? Thanks for clicking on another Bite Down Boxing video. I'm the host of the Bite Down Boxing podcast, Wood. A phenomenal fight tonight. It had great moments. Great final quarter of the fight. 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm not going to stay too long because I might have to make a move tomorrow. So I may not do a live stream that I wanted to do, but I wanted to get my immediate reaction out there. I gotta salute Tyson Fury. Gotta salute the man. I have to. I think he won 9 rounds. I feel like he won 9 rounds. The knockdowns were in there. 9th round, which is when I thought in my prediction piece on BiteDownBoxing.com, I thought that it would be a 9th round stoppage for Deontay. Couple things that stand out. I don't think Tyson benefited or was lucky that Reiss didn't stop it. I think he was lucky that Reiss was the referee. And let me ask you this. If his leg wasn't up, his right leg that was bent, was with his foot on the ground and had his leg sticking up in the air. If his legs would have been flat out, I think it might have been a different story. But the fact that his knee was up off of the canvas, I think it was less of a shock to Reiss when he went over. And then when Reiss went over there and looked over him, he saw that he wasn't gone. He was like, as soon as you see Reiss's feet come into the picture from that angle that they had down on the canvas, as soon as Reiss's feet come over him, you see movement in Tyson's eye. And it was like, I'm coming to, just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'm getting myself together here. And so, like I said, I feel like had he have landed flat out like Bellew against Usyk, then you get the wave off. But if you're sitting there with, like I said, with the knee up in the air, it doesn't look like you're just flat out. I don't know if that makes any sense or whatever, but that's how I looked at it. It's funny that people could say that you can't score a fight for a guy who gets up twice. But how do you score a fight for a guy who missed as badly with his right hand as he did all night long? How do you score a fight for a guy who looks that bad throwing a simple punch, the basic combination, 1-2, or just, the wide rights that he went to go, lead rights that he went to go throw? How do you just not have any issue with that? How do you have any issue with him coming in after that shot and not having any other options to punch because he smothered himself? How could you not hold it against him for not adjusting all night on that? But yeah, like I said, I feel like Tyson won 9 rounds out of 12. And I feel good about most of my prediction. The 9th round, there was a knockdown in the 9th round. Little bit more behind the head than just behind the ear. I mean, it was a little bit on the back of Tyson's head, but it happens regularly. Going into the 12th round to get the knockdown again and seemingly in the fight, that was kind of that same sequence that got that same kind of punch and combination that had Ortiz that led to finishing off Ortiz when he started turning the tide in that one. But like I said on the podcast earlier, tough fighters and good fighters, great fighters at the elite levels, you can for somehow they can overcome power. They can beat power. You're gonna need more than that. And I think that rang true in this fight. He needed more than that. I see a lot of guys are doing live streams right now. So, most of the boxing fans are probably tied up with them. Heck of a fight. I'm kind of speechless. There's no way in the world that I see Deontay winning 7 rounds. No way in the world. I want to kind of, I'm so neutral and laid back on so many things. I kind of want to say that I'm okay with the draw, or, it doesn't hurt either guy. It sets up the rematch. We got to see what the numbers are on the pay-per-views and whatnot. But, nah, man, I just don't feel like, I feel like Tyson Fury, that they took one from him tonight. And I felt like his justification of why he won was more solid than Wilder, who was just like, why? I think with the 2 knockdowns I won. Like, that's part of the problem, is you think you got to do so little, loading up on that right hand all night, when it was other things that you needed to get into and try and establish. But you never did any of that, waiting on that one shot all night long. But if you're in there with a talented guy and a guy who's able to offset all that and neutralize all that, you have to be able to go to something else. So, I don't think that Deontay pulled it out. Pause. I don't feel good about that one. I don't feel good about that one at all. I thought there was one other thing. I just had to take notes. I watched it at the theater. Very light crowd tonight. In comparison to Triple G and Canelo, like I said, with that fight, I saw way more Mexican people than I'd ever seen in my town. And none of them showed up. None of them showed up tonight. Very sparse crowd in there. Nobody sitting in 2 rows, my row or the next 2 in front of me, I think. And then like a patch of people down in the front row, and one brother down in the handicap seating area. He wasn't handicapped. He was just sitting down there because I think he wanted to didn't want anything blocking his view. Just Tyson Fury with the jab, that jab, and moving to the left. To the left was he was catching Deontay with that all night long. Just anticipation. Whenever Wilder went to go and show you that left shoulder to come with the right, he was gone. And it's crazy because in the All Access, that's what they talked about. And it played out tonight. Every time he went to do that, showed that he was gone. Except for the 2 times when he wasn't. I thought I had something. Oh, I didn't write anything down here. I had to type it in my phone because they turned the light off on me for the main event. And I'm doing this on my phone. But good job, man. I love to see the respect on some of the stuff I've spoken about already with the other videos. And the racial component here, and all of that stuff, and the negativity. Like I said, these 2 guys needed each other. They showed out for one another. Professional and gentlemen. Wilder is right. It's a brutal sport. It's a savage sport. But it's still a gentleman's sport. Because any differences that you have with that man across the ring, you sort it out by the end of those scheduled rounds. Whether it goes the distance or not, you sort it all out. All conflict gets resolved in there. So I thought that was a beautiful display of sportsmanship and respect for for your combatant. And I I think Deontay got $4 million guaranteed. Fury $3 million guaranteed. I thought was what I saw from the California State Athletic Commission. The fans seem to respond to the fight well. I love Tyson's his ring walk music that he cuts it up with the different, Run This Town and something with Nicki Minaj or something. Wilder had J Rock. So yeah, I thought it was a good event, man. But again, it's judging once again spoils a moment, and I think they took that one from Fury. To fight through adversity, the worst type of adversity, and finish that fight. And another thing, for Wilder not to throw a meaningful punch for the last 52 seconds of the fight, some little stuff in the last 8 or 7 seconds, I thought he did a little something. But even, like I said, to get up and then on both occasions to land that shot, I think he landed a couple of shots in that 12th round that backed up Deontay and caused him not to throw any shots for that last 52 seconds. But, hey, when you got a guy like that, and that was kind of, again, from the All Access, when he said all of this stuff, he said all of this stuff, everything that I faced down and overcome and fought through to get here, which was why I was split on, trying to take a look at this, because I just didn't see enough offensively to be able to believe in this. But hey, he showed it, with the jab. Even landed some heavier shots that I thought took some steam out of Deontay. So, great fight, man. I'm not going to waste your time repeating the same thing. Like I said, I couldn't. Fury won the fight, in my opinion. We'll see what happens with the negotiations to get a second one. They were kind of all over when Jim Gray was trying to ask them about one going overseas. Oh, what I did want to say, somebody did lose tonight. Anthony Joshua lost tonight because Eddie Hearn, for you to sit there and act like this doesn't involve you, or, some 48 laws of power, whatever, where we don't acknowledge you or something, or whatever the strategy is. You hold 3 of the 4 major belts. You're saying that you have ticket sales that suggest you're the man of boxing. You're on the same tier, one of the only few fighters that's on the same tier with the Canelo Alvarez. And you hold 3 belts, and as an ambassador of the sport, you don't show up. We saw Charlo show up just to get his fight, to push that fight, and he has a fight scheduled. But you're sitting here waving a fight date out here, April 13th, and you don't even show up. Not saying that you had to climb into the ring, although I guess if you're in the Staples Center, you kind of are obligated to get up there after the fight. Maybe with it being a draw, maybe there wouldn't be the same impetus to get you in there. But Joshua lost. Joshua and Hearn, it took an L tonight. No denying that. So look, man, I'm going to get out of here. I might do something tomorrow more in depth. Might try to see if Karen A. Tate, salute to her. She was on site last night or this night, or a couple hours ago. She was in Staples Center and had some interesting content. Maybe I'll get up with her. Maybe might reach out to somebody on roundboxing.com. A couple guys picked Fury to win the fight. And that's about it. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit a like button if you can find it in your heart to do so. Not a great night for the sport because of, once again, some questionable judging. But maybe in a fight like that, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, because if you do get 2 knockdowns, that is a pretty significant moment in a fight. A pretty significant accomplishment in a fight. And then the second knockdown to be, Fury might be the only guy that could get up in that situation. It might be the only guy in boxing that can get up from that situation. And then actually fight his way back into it for the next 45 or 50 seconds or whatever it was. So, maybe after I watch it again, or, maybe in the morning, it doesn't seem that egregious that Fury didn't get the fight, didn't get the victory. But that's that. Again, like I said, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and check. I'm actually go back and put the link to the podcast because I got it up later today. Got a lot of stuff off my chest. You might want to check it out. So I'll put the link in the description once I get it up. And, until next time, 1.